Welcome back to the Odyssey. I am Mike Odyssey, and my friends, we have a major update inside the world of Nintendo regarding Nintendo Switch 2. This has to do with the president of Nintendo, Shintaro Furukawa, and a conference call he had with Bloomberg and media outlets regarding the Nintendo Switch 2. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and jump right into the news. Now, I have three major outlets here that are reporting this news, and the reason why we're going to go over the three of them is so that we can see how they each interpret this news. It is important that we kind of go behind it and really understand what was said, because you will also hear many different opinions from other content creators, right? And it's important that we understand the news, right, aside from opinions, because sometimes they can merge into one and we don't know which is which. So let's go ahead and read here from mynintendonews.com. This is the first outlet we're going to read from. Nintendo President Shintaro Furukawa has stated in a conference call after the earnings report that the current Nintendo Switch will be the company's main business for 2024. This comes after speculation that the successor to the popular device will be launching later this year. He then went on to say that they will discuss any future plans at its next earnings briefing. Here was what was said. The existing Switch will be Nintendo's main business heading into 2024, Shintaro Furukawa said on a conference call after the earnings report. The company's plan for the next fiscal year will be shared in the next earning briefing, he added. Nintendo remained tight-lipped about the Switch successor plans, with Furukawa declining to comment beyond saying that the company is always researching new hardware and software. So basically what we heard before. All right, so let's jump over to The Verge really quick to see their interpretation of the same news, right? This is written by John Porter. 2 hours ago it was published, and it says here, Nintendo says Switch will continue to be its main business heading into 2024 as next-gen rumors amount. Nintendo President Shintaro Furukawa made the comments during today's third quarter earnings call, Bloomberg reports, and declined to comment about rumors for a successor to Nintendo's second best-selling console of all time. But we should hear more about Nintendo's next fiscal year and hopefully the Switch 2 during the company's next earnings briefing in early May. And that's all they reported when it comes to that news. And you know what? I actually like this because there is no fluff added. That's exactly what was said in the call. So let's go over and visit the last one. And this is Go Nintendo. All right. In Go Nintendo, they did add a lot of fluff. Like they started with 2 paragraphs. And then the news goes into the third paragraph, which is where the news starts. So I'm going to go ahead and skip those 2 and just go over the third paragraph here. In a conference call following their third quarter report, Nintendo President Shintaro Furukawa said that the Switch will be Nintendo's main business as we get deeper into 2024. He also stated that the company will talk about plans for their next fiscal year come the Q4 fiscal year earnings briefing. Outside of that, Furukawa only trotted out the same sentiment we've heard time and time after again. The Nintendo is always researching new hardware and software. What I read here from this article, and I'm pretty sure you read it too, is that the president of Nintendo is a smart man. He knows how to put his answers in a way that will literally let you believe that the Switch is coming in 2025, right? And so what he stated is that the Nintendo Switch will be Nintendo's main business heading into 2024. That's the biggest statement there, right? That's what we can take away from this. Now, if we really step back and look at this, yes, he is right. The Nintendo Switch, the current one, is Nintendo's main business in 2024. Even if the Switch 2 comes out, Nintendo Switch will still continue to be Nintendo's main business in 2024. Why? Because, well, it's February and we don't have a Nintendo Switch yet. It's going to be March and we're not going to have a Nintendo Switch. It's going to be May. We're not going to have a Nintendo Switch, right? We can expect the Nintendo Switch to be alongside summer. And even that doesn't count for the entire year. Nintendo's main console for this year is still the Nintendo Switch, with that 150 million install base on the Nintendo Switch. There will not be 150 million install base on the Switch 2 when it comes out. That's going to build over time. So we have to take all three articles and just compare side by side what they've said, and then just take the same exact wording each article has and say, okay, that is the news right there. That is what is being reported by all three, aside from personal opinion, aside from fluff pieces, right? And that's how you go about news. When you look at content creators, you look at the same exact news that each reported and you take that. There's going to be a lot of opinions next to them, and you might confuse that opinion with the news. So that's why we have to be careful and set kind of some right expectations when it comes to that. So the main news here is that the president says that the Nintendo Switch will be the main business heading into 2024, and that they will discuss more in the upcoming next briefing. This is going to be in May. Okay, now if we break this down, my friends, we break this down without adding anything else. Yes, he's right. The main business for Nintendo will be the Nintendo Switch. Why? Because that's the current console. That's the console that is selling right now. That's the console where all of their software is currently sitting and living, and that's what is continuing to sell. Right now, there has not been an announcement for Switch 2, nor will there be one in March. We might get one in April, but then even if we get it in April, it's not going to be out till maybe summer or even August. So, yes, Nintendo's president basically stated that heading into 2024, Nintendo's main business will come from the Switch. Now, heading into 2024, even if the Switch 2 is announcing in June or August, then yeah, we are waiting well into 2024 by that time, right? And so by that time once we get there, that's when the Switch 2 will start selling, and we will not get those numbers until next year, my friends. Those numbers for that Switch 2 selling at the quarter 4 of this year will not be shown to us until next year. So he is completely right? This does not mean that the Switch 2 is not coming. It just means that Shintaro Furukawa, as a numbers guy, is very careful to talk about anything other than the present. And so that's what he's doing. He says, I'm not going to discuss anything regarding Switch 2 because guess what? I haven't even announced it yet. Nintendo has not even announced it. I, as the president of Nintendo, right? Am I going to talk about something that's completely unannounced and possibly harm the current sales that they're having now? You know, Nintendo's goal is to have the best-selling console in the Switch. They're on their way. They're only about a couple million away from getting there, and they're not going to do anything to harm that. There's a possibility they can still get there by the time the Switch 2 was announced. And so that's what the article basically is stating, right? Their main business is still the Nintendo Switch this year, because the Switch 2 will be launching later in the year, well into 2024. And by the time we get those earnings from Switch 2, from the sales and from the software, that'll be next year. That won't be this year. Next year in 2025 will be a main Switch 2 year, but this is still a Nintendo Switch year. Guys, let me know if that made sense to you. Let me know if that kind of broke down and kind of, you know, it's always good to hear three articles at the same time. It's always good to have more than one content creator regarding Switch news or any other type of thing, right? I recommend Nintendo Prime. I recommend Anders Restart, my friends. And so it's always good to have more than one outlet and hear different interpretations. But take the same exact thing that each of them say as news. Everything else take as opinion, and make sure to keep that aside from the actual news. And so that's going to do it, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. Does this all make sense to you? Are you still excited for the Switch 2 coming later this year? And are you purchasing a Nintendo Switch? Because I am. I'll be honest with you. I am purchasing a Nintendo Switch very soon for myself to keep. And so that's going to be the video, guys. Before I let you go, never, ever give up and journey on. Peace.